Welcome one and all. I love science. I may not be a witch, but here I am. I am the Science Witch, and welcome to a continuation of our, I guess, Summer of Italia, if that continues to go through as not really planned, but as I think it's gonna go. We have today our headcanons for PruCan. So, as always, I'm going to be discussing 5 random headcanons that I find off of Tumblr ship memes, because why the hell not? It gives me good stuff to go off of. And let's get this started. Who is the most protective over the other? I personally feel that Prussia is a lot more overprotective of Canada than Canada would be of Prussia, because Prussia's fought in all these wars and everything, and then, I don't know if Canada's been in any wars, but Prussia's always been a fighter. And then again, I also think about, if someone approaches Canada thinking he's America, Prussia would just jump right in and just be like, "This is Canada, fuck you." He kind of just sets everything straight for all the people who think that Canada is America, because that's what good boyfriends do. He also, I mentioned this in my analysis video, that Prussia kind of brings he brings attention to Canada at the world meetings so that Canada can actually have a say in things, and I feel like Prussia would do that in a lot of other scenarios too that Canada was involved in, because of the fact that no one notices he's there. And Prussia's like, "No, we're done with that. We're done with you being ignored," and decides to basically just help Canada get out there and be able to express his opinions and be a nation, not just an America lookalike. Who makes friends with the neighbors? Honestly, I think the neighbors would hate Prussia, but I think that Canada would probably be the one to make friends with the neighbors, but the neighbors can never remember who he is. They always forget his name, or things like that, comes out and he's like, "Hi," and they're kind of like, "Hi, forgot his name, shit," because poor Canada's just, no one remembers him, and it makes me sad. But I think Prussia, if he has Spain and France over, that would just be a mass noise complaints all the time from the neighbors, and they'd all kind of be astounded at the fact that Canada's dating him, and because they're total opposites. Oh my god, if the awesome trio got in there, that'd be the 3 of them, Denmark, Prussia, and America, literally all of them basically have a constant screaming voice. It's really weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The neighbors cannot stand Prussia because of how loud and obnoxious him and his friends are, and they would love Canada if they could remember who the fuck he was. Who is the covers hog? First thing that came to mind is Canada. And the way that I see it is the 2 of them share a bed. And what happens frequently is Gil, who stays up late, which I'll get into, comes to bed to find Canada in a cocoon of blankets and pillows. And at the beginning of their relationship, Prussia was really confused and he had no idea how to deal with it and kind of adapt to it. So what does he do? He sleeps on the couch. Until one night, he says fuck it and just spoons Canada, or just cuddles Canada in the cocoon of blankets. He's got enough body heat resonating off of Canada in the blankets and the blankets and pillows themselves, to the point where he's warm. I personally think that he sleeps in boxers or briefs. Prussia sleeps in boxers or briefs, where Canada usually sleeps in a t-shirt. But I can just imagine him just like spooning or hugging this huge mound of blankets. And in the morning, he, like, if Prussia wakes up first, he kind of just looks at him, and then Matt he'll kind of just like pop his head out, and like all you see is like the top half of his face, and he's like, "Good morning." Ugh! Canada is such a cutie. Like, he's a cutie. A+ job, Gil. You picked a good boyfriend. Who stays up till 2 a.m. reading? Now, this is what I meant by Gil stays up late. He stays up till 2 in the morning, but he's not necessarily always reading. I think Prussia would 100% be writing in his diary for hours on end. He's just sitting there in that room, jotting down random shit that happens in that fucking notebook where he's got probably hundreds of volumes in there just all about his life. Because why the hell not? You see Prussia sitting there with like a stack of the diaries, just reading them, and I think he would do that on occasion, or pretty often, depending on what you preferred, I guess. But he'd probably read through books and occasionally share stuff with Matt, because why not? And yeah, literally, why not? And it might just give Prussia something to brag about, because narcissistic son of a bitch. And so, like I said in the hogging covers part, he finishes reading whatever he's doing, finishes writing whatever he's writing, hops into bed and starts cuddling Cocoon. Canada. Good shit, man. Who would build the blanket fort in the living room? More often than not, it would be Prussia, but there are several occasions where Canada will build a pillow fort or blanket fort to sort of surprise Prussia when he comes back or comes over. But I think that'd be one of their favorite pastimes, is building blanket forts and just chill and just watching movies or something, because it's just something chill for them to do. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Hell, if I had a girlfriend, I'd totally love to do that. Just build pillow and blanket forts and just watch movies. I used to do that when I was little with my friends, but I can kind of imagine it as Canada comes over to Gil's house or something, and he walks in, sees Germany, and Germany's like, he's in the living room, and then he goes into the living room, and it's just this huge ass fort, and Prussia's like struggling to keep something up, and then he's like, oh, Birdie, come over here, you gotta help me with this. And they proceed to finish it together and watch movies, or just TV. And if things are to get a little bit you know what I'm talking about, probably. And they knock everything over, and it just completely kills the mood because they're laying there underneath all this shit that they put up. They're just kind of looking at each other, and they start laughing. And then it gets frustrating because then they either put it up or they take all of it down and fix everything. It's still one of their favorite pastimes. That just seems like something childish that Gil would absolutely love doing, that Canada would be just as enthusiastic about doing. Just like how Prussia loves maple syrup because Canada gave him a bottle in the manga, which is their only canon interaction. But now Prussia loves maple syrup, so they're both enthusiastic about maple syrup, in the same way as they'd be enthusiastic about making these blanket and pillow forts. Good shit. Good shit, man. Those were 5 short random headcanons that have to do with PruCan or Prussia and Canada or Matt and Gil of Hetalia. Despite their lack of canon interactions, I still think this ship, at least in fanon, is really, really sound. And like I always say, I love opposites attract ships, and this one is really, really just tip of the just something. It's good shit, man. I can't think of an analogy right now, and that sucks because I'm usually really good with analogies, but I can't think of one. So it's a good ship. I like it. Lots of other people like it. It's the most popular crack ship in all of Hetalia, in my opinion, and as I do believe I read somewhere too, but regardless, if you guys have headcanons of your own that you'd like to share and discuss with me, leave them down in the comments below or send them to me on my Twitter or my Tumblr. And if you have other ships you want me to analyze, leave them in the comments, or like I said, send me something on Tumblr or Twitter. And I will see if I can get to those. I will add them to my list and try to get to them as soon as I possibly can. If you guys want me to continue with this Summer of Hetalia thing, I have a lot of ships in this fandom that I can analyze, and if I already have one character, I can still have other ships with them in it. Like, I poly ship Prussia, Hungary, and Austria, which I may be analyzing that soon, because I haven't analyzed a poly ship yet, and I really want to do that. But you guys know what to do. Anyways, thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a stab at that like button to let me know, and I hope to see each and every one of you sometime in the very near future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye! A+ job, Bill. Did I just call him Bill?